Hi everybody, let me start this video with what might sound like quite a strange question. What does a black hole sound like? Just take a few moments to ponder that. When you ask that question, it sounds like one of those, Buddhist koans, like what's the sound of a single hand clapping or something. But surprisingly, actually, the scientists at NASA have sonified or translated our images of a cluster of galaxies called the Perseus cluster into actual sound. The Perseus cluster is actually one of the most massive objects in the universe, and it's actually the brightest in a particular frequency, waveband, X-ray. And we've been using X-ray telescopes to look at the Perseus cluster. In the center of the Perseus cluster is a supermassive black hole. It's around 0.3 billion times the masses of our Sun. It's called an active galactic nucleus because it's an active X-ray and radio source. Effectively what it's doing is it's blowing bubbles in the gas in the cluster. And these bubbles are kind of superheated relativistic plasma, and the sound that's produced is the ripples of this plasma throughout the cluster of galaxies. You may have often heard that space has no sound, and that's true in actual vacuum of space, because sound is ripples, pressure ripples in, air and oxygen. It requires molecules and particles in order for sound to be propagated. But the majority of space in a galaxy cluster is in fact populated by such gas. And therefore it is possible to listen to the sound of extragalactic objects, such as a black hole that's blowing bubbles in that gas. Now, if you actually went to that galaxy cluster, you wouldn't hear very much. And the reason is because the difference between the peaks and troughs of the note that's being played by this black hole is approximately 10 million years. If you were a musical person, that would translate into a note that's about, I think, 57, 58 octaves below middle C. In other words, it's the frequency that no human ear could possibly hear. So what have the scientists at NASA done? They've effectively pushed up the frequency, I believe by about 200 quadrillion times, in order to put it in the audible waveband for human beings. And the result I'm about to show you at the end of this video. My final question is, what do you think this sounds like? Does it remind you of any other sounds? For me, to be honest, it sounds a little bit like some kind of horror zombie film, but anyway. If you found this interesting, NASA have also put together a website of other sonified astrophysical objects, all of them very interesting. And in fact, a lot of people are even using these as objects of meditation. When you listen to the sound, you can think, and it is quite remarkable, that you're looking at a galaxy billions of light years away, a massive galaxy, a supermassive black hole, pushing out sound waves at intervals of 10 million years. It really does make you think about the significance of your own life.